No, you can't have him back tomorrow. I said Thursday. Incredible woman. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to an all-new Chan video looking through the Cwictionary. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into today's video, which I'm very, very sad for having to do this, it said comeuppance. Unfortunately, what they meant instead was semen. And I am not showing this up because even if I believe this is not semen on Chris Chan's medallion, I have no way to verify if it is or not. So I think we're just gonna have to go on the assumption that it is. So we are not showing that. No way, Jose. So let's just get this started. Why is this article so long? Let's just get this over with. Semen is a fluid secreted in the ducts and pickles of males and tomgirls, used primarily to. If there are any women watching this, I know there's always a first time. I apologize if you did not want to know this part of male anatomy, but whatever. Let's just grin and bear it. Probably not the right phrase to use. Let's just get on with it. Let's continue reading. Used primarily to impregnate males, females, or to simply release while mass debating. Chris has many misconceptions about its purpose and function. I don't know how you could. It's a very straightforward process. Despite being honest about sex, sometimes a bit too honest, Chris is sometimes uncomfortable saying semen, and occasionally uses his own unique, boulderized terms shown below. Comeuppance. In the context of sex, especially oral, with his true and honest sweetheart, Chris refers to ejaculation as comeuppance, as seen here. It just feels so good. I think he just had a shit. And because me being a virgin, I would let you keep your mouth over my penis, and then what the fuck am I reading? And then sooner than expected, I feel my comeuppance and I come into your mouth. My semen is inside your mouth and you'd swallow every drop. 1, how do you know she will? 2nd, for somebody who said he didn't like to use the word semen, he just used it. I don't understand. He's already confusing me. Yeah, and I'm just gonna keep banging your breasts over and over again until you get a dosage of my comeuppance, he said to Casey. Chris presumably coined the term because A, ejaculating can also be referred to as coming, B, it goes up when it comes out of his bent dick, and C, he's an idiot. However, this created a shitstorm when his sex tapes dropped, because Webster's defined comeuppance as a deserved rebuke or penalty. While Chris most likely heard this word and thought it would make a clever euphemism for cum, the true meaning and its context seems to suggest an eerie Freudian slip. A tasty treat. No caption is necessary. Well, here's one caption I had. Got milk. There you are. That's the one joke I'm gonna make. Chris believes that whatever he eats changes the flavor of semen. Which may have some basis in fact. However, what makes this ridiculous is that Chris thinks his semen will taste exactly like what he eats. He has indicated that he would strive for flavored comeuppance, so his sweetheart/cum dumpster would savor the taste. In the sex tape audio, Chris presented the following scenario to Panda Halo. I would have eaten so much chocolate that day beforehand, and it would taste so yummy to you, probably like white chocolate. You'd swallow that. Chris. Actually, you know what? That does say got milk underneath. Chris, you just stole my joke. In subsequent chats with Julie, this fantasy was revised so that his comeuppance would taste like strawberries. I don't think Chris has ever had a strawberry in his life. I don't even think he has more than, 5 pieces of fruit a month, let alone a day. But whatever, this isn't about being snobbish. Coincidentally, sweets and other unhealthy foods are known to make semen taste even worse than usual. Chocolate is one of the worst offenders. That does not surprise me. It really, really doesn't. There we go. Recycling. Goes down salty, Chris. Another tidbit revealed in the sex tapes was that when Chris masturbates, he makes sure to ejaculate into a plastic cup to avoid making a mess. Shortly after this news broke, talk began to grow that Chris actually drinks from this cup. You are grim, Chris. The initial assumption, given Chris's hard stance on homos, was that Chris was a devout fundamentalist Christian, and therefore had a rigid interpretation of the biblical story of Onan. This was before he found out Chris wouldn't know anything about the Bible unless he heard it on Family Guy. This is true. Eventually, the real reason was discovered. Chris believes that by ingesting his own sperm, he can recycle it. Yeah, anybody who has a rigid memory of classic Blue's Clues will know the one about recycling. Not entirely sure what I said that for, but there you go. It's so that none of his potential children are lost. That is... No, they get the privilege of dying in Chris's stomach. And so that his semen count, presumably he meant sperm count, remains high. You'd have to be high to believe in something so stupid. As though everyone is born with a finite number of sperm, they can eventually run out if they don't swallow more. I reckon that's the same kind of logic when people say you only have 40,000 words in a week, and if you say any more than that, then you'll go mute until the thing resets. I don't know how many people ever had that when they were growing up. I never had that because by the time I was like 13 and 14, I spoke very little. And also, well, given what we know about Chris, maybe that's just conventional. Remains high, as though everyone is born with a finite number of sperm, blah 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 blah. He may have learned this about egg cells, which do have a finite quantity, and confused the two. Once again, education is... Think about all the people in the world, ladies and gentlemen, who do not get an education, and then it's wasted on people like Chris. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen, because it's ridiculous. For a time when there was no concrete evidence to support this outrageous claim, so Chris wisely decided to confront it as fact. Multiple times. Sarah Cassandra Mackenzie says, "Have you ever tasted your own semen?" Christopher says, "Keep it secret, but I actually have. I recycle my semen until I get together with my sweetheart, you, for the first time." Sarah Cassandra Mackenzie says, "Oh, that's why you do it in a cup." Chris says, "After recycle, I rinse the cup and dispose of it." Sarah, where did you come up with the idea of swallowing your own semen to recycle it after you'd cummed? Was it on a sex site or your own idea? Chris, my own idea. In my humble opinion, it's often unsatisfying to me upon swallowing, because it's not being truly enjoyed by my sweetheart. Well, again, Chris, your opinion is quite frankly the only one that matters to you. Fuck anybody else for having the right to any opinion whatsoever. Fact. I'll have to, censor this part out as well. If swallowing is often unsatisfying for Chris, that means that sometimes it is satisfying. Not convinced? Try this. No, I don't think so. Because I've done that drinking semen after masturbating. It's called recycling it. Yeah, so it's basically recycling. So, so he doesn't necessarily lose it. I mean, because, if you think of it as a waste, if you banged it out and then you flushed it down the commode or leave it in the condom in the garbage can. Though personally, I've been getting sick of swallowing my own, so lately I've been disposing of them. Mumble Chat, 17 February 2009. When Bob described a U4 adventure circa 1948 from his youth to Emily, Chris blurted out, "I'd been hanging around inside him while he was taking that trip." I think I'm going to be sick. Oh, God. Chris, listen to me very, very clearly. It wouldn't be up until possibly the beginning of 1981, at best, when you were possibly came up with in your father's testicles. You've got to, Chris, you do not know anything about how biology works. Stop pretending you do. Which implies that he believes the sperm cell that became him in mid-1981 had existed for over 30 years, and had presumably been ejaculated and recycled by his father many, many times. Although some might argue that's the reason for Chris's insanity to this very day. Still not convinced? Chris made a video for Ivy of himself drinking his own jizz. When Clyde Clash leaked on the 16th of April 2009, Chris had previously alleged that his semen would take on the flavour of any sort of fruits or sweets he recently consumed. So eating strawberries would lead to strawberry-flavoured semen, and eating chocolate would lead to chocolate-flavoured semen. Ivy wanted him to test this theory. She requested him drink his semen and compare it to chocolate syrup. In the video, Chris explains that he doesn't have any chocolate milk handy. Instead, he mixed it with some orange-flavoured Fanta. Completely missing the point of her request was to compare the flavour. Just to make sure everyone on Earth knows about it, Chris later made a video admitting and justifying the existence of the cum-guzzling footage. I recycle my own semen because, yes, I do masturbate. I'm not ashamed to admit it, as a lot of guys, I'm sure, have done the same thing in their time. Anyway, basically, into the cup, and I recycle it. So that way I won't lose any of my unborn children. So then I can also still have a good number of a semen count. Maintain that by recycling it. Chris defending the rights of the unborn, 28th of April 2009. Chris has some advice for all you men out there too. I really don't want to take his advice, but whatever. And depending on the taste of it, to the original owners of their respective bull semen, it's a good idea to recycle it. But if you feel uncomfortable you doing it, or it tastes bad to you, then you don't have to do it. Chris giving everyone his permission to not swallow semen. Can somebody remind me exactly what the point was to making this video again? I can't quite remember off the top of my head. Questions remain about his recycling plan. If he doesn't want to lose even a single unborn child, does that mean he plans to eventually father millions of children? There's no way that could happen, It's like one sperm cell out of something like 200,000 survive. So Chris would have to, in theory, have sex nearly 200 million times if he was going to assemble basically a small KGB army. Again, the implications are nothing short of grim, to say the least. Is he really dumb enough to believe his navy will survive digestion? That's a rhetorical question. Fair enough. And what happens to the comeuppance if he wants to leave in his sweetheart's mouth? Does that magically teleport back where it came from? Or can women get pregnant from oral sex? The world may never know. Oh wait, we do know it's impossible. In the case he calls, Chris has also suggested in drinking his semen for arousal. And then, you know what? I'm going to lick it off your face. And then we're going to share... I'm not reading the rest of that. So much for his low-fat diet. That's kind of funny. In Mailbag 30, Chris announced that he kicked the habit, although the validity of the statement is questionable, considering his track record for telling the truth. Fap Cup. So yeah, anyway, well, pump it down with one or both of my hands until I feel the sensation when I'm describing masturbation, and we are not even thinking about doing that. Fap Cup is a troll slang for the plastic cup Chris used to drink his own semen. You can witness the utilization of the Fap Cup here, but you don't want to. No, I don't want to either. In Mailbag 30, published on New Year's Day of 2010, Chris claimed he no longer drinks his own semen. Well, good. Whatever, Chris. Donation. While Chris might have learned that swallowing semen has no effect on sperm count, he remains concerned about his fertility and how to maintain it. This unease became acute in 2014, when he realized that he had a female soul, and became obsessed with getting a sex change operation. While he wanted to become a woman as soon as possible, he would first need to produce his God-promised daughter, Crystal. This required him to find an external receptacle for his sperm, either a medical facility or a surrogate mother. Deeply confused as usual, he either believed that he would still have pseudo-parental rights after the donation, or he cared only about fulfilling God's promise, not actual maternal responsibilities. It would have suited Chris a lot better without it, but that's besides the point. What made this transition even more urgent was the collapse of his relationship with Catherine. While the details are currently murky, the erosion of the relationship in the second week of October seems to have convinced him that she might not become his sweetheart and be willing to bear Crystal. Therefore, he would need to find an alternative route to Crystal's conception, and fast, so that he could lop off his ugly growth as soon as possible. Chris therefore made several efforts to donate his sperm, all of which failed. Sometime in the fall, he applied to be a sperm donor at the Fairfax Cryobank. His application was rejected on the 12th of November, which he revealed on Facebook a week later. Typically, he blamed the facility for discriminating against autistic individuals, denying that autism is a hereditary disease. There is no such thing as a 100% healthy individual with 100% healthy DNA. No, but then there's the multitude of junk food you shove into your mouth every day, Chris. There is also that. So the sperm bank is lying to its recipients when they guarantee their sperm. There is no way to reliably figure out which combinations of DNA from sperm and egg will likely give which results. I don't understand what he's talking about because I'm pretty sure he doesn't either. Everybody is carrying something, so why discriminate against me and by extension other autistic people? Well, again, notice how Chris says him first and then other autistic people second. Their whole "your DNA is no good, be gone" explanation is utter bullshit. Chris, Facebook, 20 November 2014. Saddened, he turned to his gal pal Renee, informing her, "My donor application got rejected. So I'm stuck in searching for a woman to have my daughter, if not Katie." He magnanimously decided against putting his burden on her, a woman he had known for about a month. "I would ask you, but you're going through a lot right now, and I wouldn't want to bother you about it." He then turned to Voy Forms, a nationwide free public message board. On the 20th of November, he posted, "Hello ladies, I am a female lesbian soul trapped in a male body. or a lesbian trans woman, if you will. I want to help out in my LGBT community by donating my essence to lesbian couples. It is totally awesome that y'all can legally marry in VA now, in Virginia now. So much of this is just the way he phrased that. Anyhow, I am game for helping in artificial or natural preferred insemination. Chris, again, you just basically just admit right now all he wants to do is just, for the sake of getting laid, which is, I am a good person, he says, and great in getting to know as well. Are you sure? I also would like to be an active parent for the children, if permitted. I am a really caring individual, and I am very serious in my donating. Please shoot me an email for your serious inquiries and whatnot. I will be happy to provide my more direct contact information via email in response as well. Here we see that his desire to make a daughter conveniently overlaps with his fantasies of a three-way lesbian fuckfest and actually having a relationship. In February 2016, it was revealed that Chris had been storing his semen in plastic containers delicately located in his fridge for safekeeping, right next to his family's food. This method of cryopreservation, however, does not work. To date, no one has taken Chris upon the offer, and his sperm remains within his accursed male body. It is possible that the HRT he has been taking since 2015 destroyed what was left of his fertility and sex drive. Speculation which is supported by his third sex tape, showing that he had difficulty getting an erection in spite of masturbating for 3 straight minutes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not even thinking about going back to the top, but that, ladies and gentlemen, was terrible. It really was terrible. Because what else can you really say about that video? Chris not knowing a single thing about how, digestion of semen is going to kill off your sperm anyway. Also, with Chris's diet, I don't particularly think it was a wise idea for him to just, for the sake of a quick snack, to not have anything slightly healthier. And also, that his semen is completely useless and almost completely dead now. It would have been quite interesting to work out exactly on what specifications, although I think it's down to, health complications as well as, Chris being a trans person, which means like complications with HRT and stuff like that. So that's possibly all I've got to say about that. So, with all that being said and done, I hope all of you guys have enjoyed, and also, this looks kind of interesting, an MD about Chris's health, which I have kind of went over these things before, but I might do these ones separately because these look a little bit more my sort of thing. So I hope all of you guys have enjoyed this, and I will, for what it's worth, and I hope to see all of you guys again in the next video. Take care, bye bye for now.